Do you know that the devil's most cunning deception was convincing humanity that he doesn't exist? He possesses unparalleled deceitfulness and manipulative abilities, effortlessly obtaining his desires through cunning tactics. If you are one of those people who denies the existence of the devil among us, then this video will surely make you think otherwise. Here are 5 shocking facts about the devil that will leave you stunned. 5. Demonic possession is real. Demon habitation is no joke, my friends. We've all seen those spine-chilling movies like The Exorcist that make possession seem like a Hollywood spectacle. However, some scholars have their doubts about using possession to describe a demon's hold on a poor soul. They prefer to call it being demonized. Personally, I like the term demon inhabited. Let's take a peek at Mark 5:1-20 for an amazing example. Jesus lets those sneaky demons leave the man and hop into some unsuspecting pigs. Another wild tale is when Jesus talks about an unclean spirit taking a hike from a person. But guess what? That spirit comes back like a freeloader and settles right back in, just like a nasty tenant in a house. It's all about spatial imagery, folks. See, calling it possession makes it sound like those demons own the place, but really they're just squatters with no respect for personal boundaries. So, using demonized might be a bit too broad to be truly helpful. But let's face it, the whole concept of demons is already scary enough. 4. The devil doesn't announce his arrival. Now, why would someone who wants to destroy you secretly display his plans like a billboard? This is the case when it comes to the devil. He is very sneaky. Ever since the infamous fall in the Garden of Eden, Satan has been waging war against humanity. His agenda is to deceive, destroy, and disrupt our relationship with God. He prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking to devour anyone who falls into his clutches. It's a topic that some Christians find challenging to confront, but ignoring the existence of the devil only makes us vulnerable to his schemes. The devil's favorite weapon is lies, cunningly crafted to make us doubt God and his promises. As Hosea 4:6 warns, "My people are destroyed from lack of knowledge." When we think of the devil, some imagine a comical red-skinned figure with horns and a pitchfork, like a character from Halloween. Others deny his existence altogether, but these thoughts are just the devil's playground in our minds. He uses our mental space as a battlefield, whispering convincing lies that we mistake for truth. One of his strategies is to paint a bleak picture of our future, instilling fear and anxiety within us. He preys on our vulnerabilities, circumstances, and even manipulates people around us to rob us of joy and fill us with hopelessness. The devil will go to great lengths to convince us that he's not real, but we mustn't fall for his tricks. Stay vigilant, rely on God's grace, and remember that the devil is a master of deception, always ready to pounce when we least expect it. When you're on the path to holiness, thinking you're making great strides, the devil will slyly sneak in, catching you off guard like a thief in the night. If you rely too much on your own abilities and not on God's grace, you're leaving the door wide open for the evil one. He'll organize an expedition and take over your spiritual life, turning it into his own personal playground. If you lack vigilance, there's a high risk of losing everything. It's not just a psychological danger, but a spiritual one, a real trap set by the evil spirit. 3. The devil is a shapeshifter, always keeping us on our toes. Although everyone thinks of the devil as a red-colored human-like creature with a pointed tail and pointy horns, you should know that he is like a chameleon, taking on different forms across cultures. Some folks even think he's God's evil counterpart, the embodiment of all things wicked. According to the Bible, he started off as a sneaky snake, tempting poor Adam and Eve. But over time, he's taken on all sorts of guises. In an ancient mosaic found in Italy, dating back to the 6th century, Jesus is depicted with symbols of good and evil by his side. It's like a visual representation of the eternal struggle between light and darkness. But it wasn't until later that the devil got his iconic devilish look. In the Middle Ages, he was portrayed as a horned goat, embodying all things sinister, spooky, and rotten. However, his appearance has evolved alongside our own understanding of evil. By the 18th and 19th centuries, he became more human-like and even romanticized, reflecting the various shades of wickedness throughout history. Satan plays the role of God's adversary, maintaining a delicate balance between good and evil in the world. Without him, there'd be no suffering or wickedness. He serves as a reminder that evil is still very much alive. 2. The devil was once God's favorite angel. Ever wondered where the devil came from? Was he always here on earth? What are his origins? Or should I say, how in the world could a God of love create someone as dreadful as the devil? The devil's real name was Lucifer, and Lucifer wasn't content with just worshiping God, he wanted to be worshipped himself. Once a stunning and mighty angel of God, he lost his heavenly status. And when Satan fell, he didn't fall alone. The good book tells us that he took a third of the angels with him. Considering the vast number of angelic beings, that's quite a sizable group. These fallen angels, or demons, now do his bidding. So the devil is a fallen but formidable spirit being with a well-oiled network of demon powers to help him carry out his wicked plans. And according to Jesus, those plans involve stealing, killing, and destroying. Now let's get one thing straight. God didn't create the devil as we know him. When God created the world, he looked it over and said, "Hey, this is good." That means even the angelic realm didn't have any evil angels or demons at that time. But somewhere between Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 3, things took a turn for the worse. The devil, disguised as a sneaky serpent, tempted Eve to sin. So there must have been a rebellion in the angelic world, with many angels turning against God and becoming evil. And guess who led the charge? You got it, Satan himself. 1. The devil has his own version of the Bible. You might be wondering, why does the devil need a Bible? Well, it's not that the devil needs a Bible, it's about the contents of a specific Bible that was found many, many years ago. The Codex Gigas, better known as the Devil's Bible, is known for its eerie and creepy illustrations of the devil scattered throughout its pages. Now, we're not talking about your typical red devil with horns here. This devil is something far more bizarre and unsettling. According to the historical documents, it was written by a 13th century monk named Herman the Recluse in a Czech monastery. Not much is known about this mysterious Herman, but the legend goes that he was about to be executed, sentenced to be walled up alive and left to starve. Crafty as he was, he struck a deal with the devil to spare his life if he could write a book containing all earthly knowledge and glorifying the monastery. The catch? He had to complete it in a single night. Now you might think that's an impossible task, and you'd be right. But Herman had a trick up his sleeve. Legend has it that he made a pact with the devil, selling his soul in exchange for the ability to finish the book. And just like that, the devil delivered. The massive book was completed in a single night, fulfilling Herman's end of the bargain. To show his gratitude to the Lord of Hell, Herman included detailed illustrations of the devil throughout the book, proudly displaying his partnership with Satan. Later attempts to recreate the book took a staggering 20 years of non-stop writing, and that's without the creepy illustrations. The devil is depicted as a fearsome figure, embodying all the horrors of hell. He's shown with claws, red-tipped horns, small beady eyes, and a sickly green head. To top it off, he's got 2 long red tongues sticking out of his mouth. It's quite a sight to behold. Some folks speculate that the material of his loincloth is ermine, a fabric reserved for royalty at the time. So it could be Herman's way of nodding to Satan, as royalty or the Prince of Darkness himself. Whether you deny it or not, it's a true fact that the devil is real and he is lurking among us, changing shapes and appearances according to his whims.